Can they keep this trend going? I'll keep you posted on how he looks on the field and how he's leading his team early in this game. Back to you.
Okay, Holly. The Gators will kick off first, and here we go. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. So Miami signals for a timeout. After using an early one, 2 left for them to spend. You think the fans are ready for this one? The booth's shaking underneath us, guys. Looking for a gap. It's Fletcher. At the 35, he's loose. Really nice pickup there as they have it out to the 44 with a first down.
That's a nice-looking run, man, and what a legacy here. When you think about Edgerrin James and Frank Gore, Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis, game breakers at the running back position. This guy, he seems like he's destined to play on Sunday.
They'll ride the hot hand. And he runs through one tackle and picks up a few.
Well, it's plays like that that'll help this offense stay in rhythm all game long. If you can have that kind of success on first down running the football, it just opens up your entire playbook moving forward.
8-yard pickup on first down leaves them with second and short. Hands it off. Could be an alley. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down.
And talking to the OC this week, getting this running back going was step number one. It was priority number one. He said it makes the whole offense go. Like, he is the bell cow. He is the guy. This offense doing exactly what they set out to do on this first drive.
The Hurricanes getting set on 1st and 10. Leaves it with the running back. They're just trying to flex the muscle. They get him down at the 34 after a pickup of 4. Guys, they're really starting to find a rhythm in conference play now. They'll try to keep it going through the rest of this ACC slate.
I think it's really important because they're building confidence early in the season. There were a lot of expectations on this team to play well, and they've been doing that. Obviously, David, they've got bigger challenges ahead.
Yeah, and the conference play, obviously you want to see that continue to grow. The confidence, the familiarity with each other within, obviously, is a lot of time that's a big deal. The rivalries that come with it. So, great start, a lot of positive momentum built for this squad.
Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
I love when defensive backs come up and they are physical and they stick their face in the fan and they aren't scared. Talking to the defensive coordinator coming into this game, he knew his DBs had to tackle well. They had to get these running backs on the ground. Great start on this first drive.
This crowd bringing the energy and noise early. Darian Mensah from the gun on 3rd down. He'll pull it down. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
And how about the awareness by this guy on third down, a scramble play. Everything's breaking down, but he never panics and also knows exactly where he needs to get to pick up that first down. It's third. I can't slide early. I can't run out of bounds. I'm probably going to have to put my body on the line here and take a big hit and risk that to get this first. That's a big-time leadership play by the quarterback.
Throwing, Mensah. Here's a heat. Not much of a chance there. He just had to get rid of it to avoid the sack. You guys have both played in rivalry games, so what did you do to keep yourself locked in during that week of preparation, David?
Well, you try to keep your emotions in check, but it's really, really hard to do because a lot of times the hatred is so strong. The emotions are so real. The coaches get super tight, and they start talking about things, Jesse, so you don't just treat it as another game.
No, it's hard to handle the anxiety leading up to those games, not just because of what it means to your season, but because of what the fans are saying, what your coaches are saying, what your family and friends are saying, understanding how important those rivalries are.
They'll come to the line for the 8th snap on this opening drive, facing a 3rd and short. In the red area, it's Fletcher. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. It'll be 4th down. And so on their opening drive of the game, they want to stay on the field, and the offense will go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Converts on 4th down, and he's still going. Got enough space. Touchdown, Hurricane. Made the grab and then did the rest himself, and they put points on the board.
I love the aggressive nature in the play column there. The opening drive of the game, you have an opportunity on 4th down, obviously, to just kick a field goal, take the lead early, establish some momentum. Instead, they get aggressive. They go for it, and not just get it, they score a touchdown.
They get set for the point after as we have the first score of the game. And the PAT makes it 7-0. So that was a 10-play, 75-yard drive. And the capper, a 19-yard toss for the touchdown. Fielded in the end zone, it's Mays. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. Jones wants to throw it. Bringing the heat. And it's incomplete. They were looking for the huge gain on 1st down.
He didn't have a whole lot of time to get rid of that one. The defense was all over him right after the snap. No wonder that thing fell in.
They're dealing with a 2nd and long. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Finds the tight end. And they make the stop, and that will likely bring us to the end of the first quarter. We've reached the end of the quarter, and Miami is on top. Let's take a peek at the numbers so far. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. So they go back to work after the break, and it is third down. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Hauls it in. Nice job to get it past the sticks and then get him down at the 35. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmys and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
The Gators come to the line with a new set of downs. Might be changing the route. Wide receiver going in motion. Jones to throw. Fires to the wideout. He just missed the target on that one. Got to put it on his body.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year and big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Looking to throw again. Unloads to the wideout. Over to the right side, that's Wilson. He stopped right at the 50-yard line, but they'll move the chains. It's first down.
And I think with Florida, man, it's all about the quarterback position. When it was rolling at its peak, right, it was Jesse Palmer and Tim Tebow. That guy was pretty good, too. But, like, finding that guy that can make the plays, I think bringing in Buster Faulkner is a big deal. They'll have a great offensive identity. But, Palmer, Florida's good when they got the trigger man.
Well, the good news is they didn't have to leave the U.S. border to find the next guy like they did way back in the day. But you're right. I think Buster Faulkner really is the key. I thought one of the big moves for John Sumrall in the offseason was bringing in Faulkner as his offensive coordinator. One of the most difficult coordinators to defend. You ask any D coordinator in the country, and he always seems to get the best out of his quarterback. So they had a guy in DJ Lagway. They had really high hopes. Things didn't work.
Oh, he's got some space. He'll work his way down to the 28.
He can buy time, he can run it. What can't he do? This guy's so talented. When he does stuff like this, there's no way to stop it. There's no way to coach a defense up against this. He's just really fast, and I can't catch him.
Offense has it at the 28 on first down. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Jones wants to throw it. Fires quickly. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab.
And, man, you love to see that from this offense. Coming out and answering, right? Like putting a drive together. Their defense just gave up a touchdown. But you want to snatch the momentum back. Nice job putting a little bit of a drive together. Now let's go cap this thing off with a touchdown.
And the Gators go back to work after moving the chains through the air. They'll move the wide receiver. Now from inside the red zone. Caught in the backfield. It's Brown. That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Using his feet. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Gators!
And I tell you what, Reese, I'm not picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this at the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. It just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
Setting up for the extra point and the tie. And he splits the uprights on the extra point. So a drive there of 85 yards. And what a way to finish it with a 9-yard touchdown run. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Here's Mensah to throw. Pulls it in. It's Brown. Guys, let's look big picture Miami. By the end of the day, one of these two teams will control their conference destiny the rest of the way. Potential bye in the college football playoff on the line. This game critical at this point in the season for both teams.
And so much talent in this game, too. Outstanding coaching staffs, NFL talent on both teams going into this one. David, this might be a rematch in the conference championship game. We might get to see this matchup again.
Yeah, and it's so nice to have two teams playing so well at the top of their conference. You know this game matters. There's no sleepwalking into this game. You see the numbers at the top of the conference. It's you and it's them. Who's going to come out today?
They're looking to throw on second and short. Just gets rid of it before the heat. He just throws it away, and I think the flag's going to be coming in. There it is. Still third down, but more ground to cover after the flag. And with this place rocking, the crowd forces a false start. Defense more than happy to take that free yardage. The Canes will go ahead and call that second timeout. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. This third down a little longer after that penalty. Mensah buys a little extra time. Got his man downfield. Oh, a lot of space. That defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47.
And what a massive play for the offense. Not only getting the football across the 50, but they've now put themselves in position to steal a few more points here before the half.
You look to be backed up, and then suddenly you're not. Big play has them across the 50, and they'll have it 1st and 10. Running inside. It's Fletcher.
You want to make play calling easy for an offensive coordinator? Run the ball like that every play. I mean, when you can run that on first down and set up a short yardage on second down, it makes play calling easy. Every single call on that sheet is available here on second down.
Here's Darian Mensah to throw. Takes a hit as he fires. Oh, big fella almost had a pick right there. Instead, it falls incomplete.
Well, a great job in coverage on the back end by the defense. You just got to finish the play. That should have been a pick.
The noise is deafening, trying to make sure only the Gators get out of the swamp on third down. Play clock was getting close to 0, and they have to burn a timeout. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. They have work in front of them on 3rd and short from the 42. Throwing, Mensah. On target. 3rd down conversions are huge, and they've got one, and they're at the 35.
Hey, man, that's unbelievable. That is a really good job of seeing the blitz right away and getting rid of the football. Like, that is quarterback 101. Understand they're blitzing, they're coming, see it, take advantage of it, get the completion, and move the sticks.
That pressure got to him, and he just had to chuck it out of bounds. Change now on 2nd and long. Here's Mensah to throw. Stepping to the right. He'll try to do it himself. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
Man, this defense has their hands full today because not only do they have to worry about the running backs and not only do they have to worry about the passing game, they've got to worry about this quarterback running the football because of plays like that. Not a huge explosive play, but he showed you the athleticism. He showed you he has the ability to hurt you with his legs.
They'll snap it from the 28 in field goal range, but it's 3rd and short. They'll try to get the first through the air. They're working that left side. Just across the 20 with a first down at the 19. 3rd and short, and I guess the only thing they really took out of play in the shotgun was the quarterback sneak.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I like to do, Reese. I mean, 3rd and inches, I want to run the quarterback sneak, run the football, but this team fully comfortable throwing the football, and you see why. Easy pitch, easy catch, first down.
And the Canes, after moving the sticks through the air, come to the line. Trying to run, it's Fletcher. Surged ahead for a couple there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Clock is stopped. Florida has called a timeout. It's 2nd. And they'll still have one in their pocket for what's left in this first half. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Fires to the tight end. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Timeout now called by the Gators. That's their last one. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Not a lot of ground to cover and not much to defend. A big 3rd down in the red zone. To the ground to try to move the chains. They bring him down, but not before he's able to pick up the first down.
And I'm not surprised with the run, and I'm not going to be surprised if they run it again, right? This offense now set up. They've put a drive together. 1st and goal. Who can be more physical? The line of scrimmage is critically important when the field starts to shrink. Let's see who can bow up and make a play here.
Mensah. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Really nice job working the route and getting himself open. He was able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point is true, and they're on top by 7. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they cap things off with a 9-yard touchdown pass. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive. Offense has enough time to get off a play before we head to the half. Jones to throw. Trying to make magic on the scramble. Breaks into the open. They finally make the stop, and that one will make those halftime stats look a little nicer as we head to the break. As the Gators head for the locker room by the watchful eye, that full Gator head. Let's check in with Kevin Connors at the half.
Men, notable storylines all across the sport today. So let's roll up our sleeves and get you updated here in Week 6. Our first stop is with Kansas State taking on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. And it's the Wildcats in front against this heavyweight of an opponent today. It's early still, but this one has the potential to really shake up the rankings. Here now, some other games you may have interest in, and social media has some sharp opinions about the state of things right now.
The Gators sending the offense back to work. They start this third quarter, one-possession game, and hoping to get an early drive going.
This offense is ready, and they're ready to take the field here and see if they can get something established. They don't have to change everything and reinvent the wheel. They've had some successes in the first half, so let's get that continued here on the opening drive.
Yeah, and I love getting that break at half to go talk with my coaches and pick my offensive coordinator's brain so I know exactly what I need to do to attack this defense, and I get ball first.
Last completion picked up a couple. Here comes 2nd and 8. Back to pass. Here comes the heat. He'll move it up to the 37-yard line, and it'll be a first down.
The number one key for this defense coming into this game was finding a way to stop this quarterback from running the football. And guys, they have not done a good job of that early in this game. He has been able to get out of the pocket, whether it's been designed runs or scrambles like on what we just saw. The defense has got to start changing it up. They need to spy him more, I think, moving forward.
They've got it at the 37. It's 1st and 10. Jones wants to throw it. Still moving to his right, trying to make a big play. And here's a fumble way behind the line.
Well, ball security doesn't just apply to running backs and receivers. QB's got to keep 2 hands on the ball as well. And they're very lucky after that fumble that the offense jumped on.
After that sack, they're in a different zip code now. 2nd and long working here. Looking to fire. grabbed over the middle. It's Brown. And the defense makes a big hit and knocks him down.
And a really nice job by the wide receiver. You run a drag route, find space. They're in zone coverage. They're not covering man-to-man. Find a little hole. Look at that QB. Y'all get on the same page. You could tell they were, and that's why they got the first down.
Passing game very effective on second down. What about here on third? Making side adjustments here. On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He lets one fly deep, and it goes through his hands. Oh, he had an explosive play right there for the taking, but couldn't reel it in. The Gators will line up to punt it away. First time today we've seen a punter go to work. Gets his first one of the day away, and that matches his total from that victory last week. Here's the return. He only needs a sliver of daylight. Really nice job all the way around. Got a few blocks, made a couple of moves, and a good return on that one before he's pushed out of bounds. And here comes that Miami offense back onto the field. And what a drive that was the last time they had it. Basically the length of the field. Much better starting point this time. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
Well, they want to come out and try to get the run game established, but up front defensively, they made a play. They gave up nothing on that one.
Got to find some breathing room if you're going to establish yourself on the ground, and there wasn't any that time.
Yeah, Reese, I wonder now if this offense is maybe going to try to get to the perimeter of the field and see if they can use their speed to hurt this defense.
So now it's second and long. Here's Darian Mensah to throw. Trying to beat the D deep. Catch and stride inside the 15. They make the tackle, but he's got a fresh set of downs, and it's first and goal from the 7.
And a big reason why this team has the lead in this game is because of plays like that. They know they've got firepower throwing the ball. They've got the dudes outside that can make things happen. You saw it in the first half, and you see it here again early in the third quarter.
With the run on first and goal. He works his way all the way down to the 3, and the defense is reeling.
And I'm good with it. I like what the offense is doing. Be physical. I don't need to get pass happy down here on first and goal. Nice job believing in my running game, and maybe I stick to it for another play or two.
They go right back to their man on second and goal. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
All right, so now you're in this third down situation close to the goal line, and it just feels, David, like they're going to have to throw the football in order to score a touchdown here. I like maybe trying to get the quarterback outside on the perimeter and give him a run-pass option.
I like that, too. Get the quarterback on the move. And here's the thing. If I get close and I get stopped, it's fourth down. Fourth down means go for it. That's all that means now today in college football.
Darian Mensah from the gun on third down. And he's on his way. He'll go all the way. Touchdown, Canes!
And you got to love seeing that if you're the head coach of this team, right? You always want to see your team start fast early in games and then also start fast at the beginning of the third quarter. You had a big lead. You take the ball right away here in the second half. You drive it down the field, and you score. This offense has been dialed in right from the get-go. It's been very impressive to watch.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Jones to throw. Right down the middle. Wilson has it over the middle. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. After the big play to start, now they are on the move at their own 45. Wants to throw on first down. Just a short pass to the tight end. Out of bounds at the 43-yard line after the huge pickup.
It has not been a banner performance so far by this offense. Here in the second half, they need more plays like that. That's a good sign, but you got to be able to put those plays back to back now. Really nice job early in the drive coming up with a big one in your own end. But now you've got to be able to string some of those along now and score some more points.
As they get set to snap it, just about to reach the end of the quarter. Looking downfield on first down. Pocket breaking down. And as they get him to the ground, clock running, looks as if time will expire here in the third. Midway point in the season, and games like this one can have a big impact on the rankings from week to week as we see upsets happen and favorites continuing to flex muscle. One more period to go to see who can make the winning plays and come home with the victory. They had a chance to mull things over. Let's see how they start the final period here on second down. Sends it back in motion. Back to pass on second down. Escapes the pressure to his right. Hit as he throws. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. And what a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
And man, did the defense just miss an opportunity that they could have turned the lights out with the lead, get the football back here. Missed opportunity. Maybe this offense now can take advantage and swing some momentum in this football game.
Now facing a third and long. He might want another play. Jones wants to throw it. And the missed connection on third down.
Every defense in the country talks about getting offenses in predictable third and long situations where I can bring on more speedsters and I know the pass is coming so I can have more success.
Down in the fourth quarter, it's too late for empty possessions. They'll go for it on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He'll pull it down and run. They stop him short of the marker, and they'll turn it over on downs.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down, they were ready for the pass. And you saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play. And now their offense is coming on the field.
The Canes offense comes onto the field looking to put together a drive. After that big stop by the defense, now they can salt this thing away. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10.
And when you're down later in the football game, you got to start taking some chances. And that was a beautiful run blitz. Great job playing the probability, understanding it might be a run to run some clock. And they guess right, and they make a big play for this defense.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Throwing, Mensah. Fires to the wideout. That's caught. It's Vaughn. Defense needs to regroup as he gets it down to the 26.
I think most offenses around the country in a situation like this with the lead late would be trying to run the football, right, or throw it short and try to bleed the clock. But this offense, man, it's still pedal to the metal. They're looking for chunk play opportunities.
The run inside. It's Fletcher. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. It'll be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
Right. Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. They feed him again. Maybe a crease. He's just outside the 20-yard line, stopped at the 21 after a pickup of 6. Clock is stopped. Florida has called a timeout at 2nd. They've got one timeout left now. They'll have to choose wisely as to when to use it. This crowd unhinged, trying to make sure the Gators don't back down on 3rd down. Here's Mensa to throw. Wide open downfield. Touchdown, Hurricanes. Haul that baby in and then stroll into the end zone for the score. They give themselves a little more cushion as they try to reel off their 4th straight win. They've extended this lead, guys, but sometimes in a rivalry game, you get down and you fight back that much harder.
Man, you've seen crazy comebacks and crazy swings of momentum in rivalry games. You just need that first thing to break your way, Palmer.
And I think it really comes down to their key playmakers, David. They can come back, but these guys need to take ownership. Now's the time. In this type of game, they have got to step up and start making plays.
Here comes the Gators offense, ready to go on the attack. Weeks like this are tricky, but you have to respond better than they have, and I would expect they'll take a major hit in the rankings next week. Throws to the wideout. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
Biggest reasons today why this offense is losing in the game is they haven't been able to get it going throwing the football. This guy still has not thrown a touchdown pass. They thought coming into this game they were going to have tons of success throwing it. You got to give the defense credit. They watched the film. They've been mixing up their looks defensively, trying to confuse this quarterback, and again, on that last deep shot, it falls incomplete.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. And his first throw here is incomplete.
And that's just the kind of game it's been for this quarterback in this offense. You got a great game plan all week long. You're watching it throughout practice. You think you're going to have a chance to light up the scoreboard, but they're just not able to hook up. You got to give this defense a ton of credit. They've done a great job in coverage. They've been breaking on passes. They've had their number, and that's why they're leading by as much as they are.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up.
Well, the defense came into this one knowing if they stop the pass, they win the game, and they have done that. Their guys have won one-on-one on islands. They've been able to get to the quarterback. They've been mixing up their looks. They haven't even allowed 100 yards passing in this one, and that's why they are way ahead here in the 4th quarter.
Down by multiple possessions. You can't come up empty on this drive. They'll go for it on 4th down. He'll try to throw and pick up the 1st down. He's got enough, and they roll the dice on 4th down, and they keep the drive alive. The Gators come to the line in the hurry-up.
This has been a frustrating day. I mean, they haven't moved the ball consistently, and now you get a play, but they haven't put 2 and 3 and 4 plays together, and that's why they're trailing in this football game. So maybe they can find some kind of a rhythm here late in the game and get something cooking.
And the Gators are marching down the field.
Nice job by the QB, sitting back in the pocket. You can tell he wants to throw the football, go through his progressions. Nothing home, take off and slide. I love the slide at the end. Don't take a big shot.
Fires on the move. Just missed his man, gave him just a little too much.
And it's just been that kind of day for this quarterback and this offense, guys. They have never been able to get into a rhythm throwing the football. Timing's been off. Accuracy hasn't been great. We've seen some drops, just not in sync, and that's why they find themselves trailing by a lot right here late in the game.
Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Turning it on. They drop him at the 47-yard line, but he'll have plenty to move the sticks.
And he's just proving it time and time again, man. He has that feel. He obviously has the ability to pick him up and put him down and go get first downs, but I think the timing of when to scramble and when not to scramble, he's really got that figured out, and you can tell it's going to be a big part of the game plan.
They've avoided the interception all day, but they were lucky to get that one back here late. It'll be second down.
And unfortunately, man, another incompletion. This offense is just running out of time. Like, they've just not put it together, trailing. I know they're in passing situations, but this defense, they don't have to be aggressive. They can sit back. Offensively, you got to put the gas to the floor. Got to make something happen fast.
Quickly to the tight end. He'll be forced out of bounds. Big pickup on the play, and they'll mark him down at the 28.
Really nice job responding by the offense here. They watched the opponent go down the field and score a touchdown on that last drive, and you can see the quarterback there in the commercial break. He's telling his guys, let's go. We're going to go get this one. Everybody lock in. And that's what you're seeing on this drive. Doing a really, really nice job. They look confident. They're trying to score a touchdown themselves.
Looking to throw on first down. Quickly out to the tight end. And he gets it down to the 4-yard line before he's finally stopped. A terrific run after the catch. The Gators have it in scoring position on first and goal. They'll try to get it in with the run. Nothing doing, and he was lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage at second and goal.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I love the run game down here. I love being able to give it to a back and be able to trust him. Listen, he doesn't have any touchdowns on the season, so I know he's wanting to punch one in. And down here, giving me the opportunity. Let me prove myself, so I love the big fella getting the football.
And the D deny them on second and goal. Back to pass. Back's got it. Touchdown, Florida! And they take it in for 6 more points. On to attempt to try. And with the extra point, they trail by 2 touchdowns, 28-14. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And they cap the drive with a 4-yard touchdown pass. They are running out of time here. They need to get the ball back. They'll line up for the onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
Well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
Here comes the Hurricane offense looking to gather a little more strength. They're in command of this game. Now let's see if they try to rub a little salt in the wound or happy with getting the W.
Yeah, and listen, this makes the post-game handshake fun sometimes. If you do choose to rub a little salt in it and keep chucking and keep scoring, I'm here for it, Jesse. Like, your job is to score points. It's my job to stop it. Keep the foot to the accelerator. Keep trying to play ball.
I agree 1,000%. That's like Steve Spurrier back in the day when I was playing for the Gators. You go and play for him because you want the opportunity to throw the ball. So when you get in the game late, you're not handing it off. We were beating Central Michigan by 80-something points. He was still letting us throw the football. It's the defense's job to stop you.
The give as they work on that clock. Gain of about 4 sets up a 2nd and 6.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense. Now, they got to get a stop, and if it's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
They're in control. The clock is their friend. You'd have to expect another run here on 2nd and 6. Corners showing press. They want to be physical here. Rides to the back. This time the defense was ready, and they stop him in his tracks.
It's a great play there by the defense, stopping that run. But now with less than a minute to go, you got to use your timeout. You got to try and conserve as much clock as possible to give yourself a chance to win.
They'll break out the Wildcat to try to move the chains. Coming into this one, we wondered whether these guys were a little bit overrated, and certainly they did nothing to dispel that notion.
They were playing angry today, and I know talking to some of their players, David, coming into this game, they felt like they were being disrespected. A lot of people thought their opponent might get them today, so they took this opportunity to make a statement and make an example out of their opponent.
And those are fun moments in the locker room, aren't they, Jesse? Like, everybody's doubting us. Nobody thinks we can win. It's really easy to motivate that type of squad. They played motivated. They played a little ticked off. I'm here for it. I love it. I love the excitement, the adrenaline, the emotion, and they earned a big dub today.
That's going to do it for us as the season marches on. For David Pollack, Jesse Palmer, and Holly Rowe, I'm Reese Davis. This has been a presentation of EA Sports College Football.